made it.
Everybody there? Can you hear me?
You commented.
All right. I'm gonna do one for Bradley here. I'm gonna step in. And
I didn't know I had the invite. It just was in my calendar, so I'm gonna take his next huddle, and then JT's gonna cover it.
We
today.
both had the same thing, so let's see how do I get to it now? Where is it?
Story. They forgot their IDs. Car rental place.
Really? Can you guys see my screen? Can you see anything?
Too much. I couldn't watch it. You can't watch it. It's too much. It's too much.
Nope.
Yeah.
Why do you go back? How do you do the share?
Second. Let's go here. Last meeting. Well, this is you.
Didn't launch. We were there. We were on it. Oh, join meeting.
Click here, maybe.
Okay, you guys good? You good? All right. Here we go. We got
Share the whole thing.
Where is it?
Yep, just click share.
share this whole platform.
Oh.
Share away.
Go to the files.
Yeah, right down right there, that one right there.
Boom. You guys can see that? Can you see that? Boom, we're here. Everybody here?
Yeah.
You guys can see it?
Let's swing it. Good. It's,
You good?
Yeah,
For some reason we can't hear you.
There's Jenny. In the other room.
Yes, I can see
Okay.
it.
All right, let's get it rolling.
All right, well, this is one that we did before. This is the Jordan Belfort, how to nail the first 10 seconds. So let's go. How do I go to the next slide here?
yeah.
You did the next slide.
Next slide, just tell me.
All right, the main goal is to build rapport, as we all know. Always remember the basics of good communication. Be culturally appropriate, smile, relax, remember people's names, hold your head up, and maintain good posture. Listen carefully to the and attentively. Don't outstay your welcome. The three basic tenets form the foundation of great communication. It will be hard to establish rapport without them, as they will help you establish trust, empathy, and a feeling in people that you're listening to them. Next. So building rapport and intelligence gathering. It's basically, on our, what do you call it? The LP Mama?
Yeah.
And on our, what's the thing called? It's got all the things when we do our script, the script.
Connecting rubric.
Yeah, there you go. Connecting rubric. Same thing as intelligence gathering. So we do it right here. Is this next?
Yeah. Four space.
So every step of the way, we try not to suck. Don't blow it. So that's why we need to, have our scripts basically in the back of our mind and roll off their tongues pretty easily. And of course, that's Jordan's goal, is to close every person who's closable. So if you think someone is closable, close them. Doesn't mean to be pushy, but answer the right questions and try and close. And anything else is a failure. We all have a natural style. Do you sound like a salesperson? So if you come off pushy, used car salesman, that type of thing, you're not going to get the job done. And you sound like you have their best interest in mind. And again, this was right around when Martin Luther King Day when we did this, and I can't read that rest of that part.
What are you doing for others?
Yeah, this is.
Life's most persistent and urgent question is, what are you doing for others?
And are we guys using the mirrors? Who uses the mirror?
I say,
Me and Laura,
Anybody?
it was there before I got here.
Jenny, you use the mirror? Okay,
Yes, I think everyone uses mirrors.
there we go, all right.
Woo! More than everybody.
And of course, the phrase and the voice inflection that sounds weird or feels funny is the right one. It's kind of like in our bold class, when we ask things like, are you not? So that's kind of a different way of asking someone. You don't hear that a lot. Are you not? Have we not?
Can you not?
Can you not?
can you not? That's mine. It throws me off every time.
And phrasing and tonality.
Can I not?
That's about
So
it.
now if you recall is a good phrase, it brings people back. So if you had a meeting with someone before and you want to bring them back into that time frame, you say, hey, now if you recall, remember what we talked about that time? You said you're going to list your home at this price. Now you want this? What happened? Or one of our. It's when he says that, it's not one of our, it's one of our. It's almost like one word altogether. How is it going today? Do you sound happy? And obviously we don't want to say that. We don't ask that anymore. I think what we've determined, we don't ask people on the phone, how are you today? We don't want to do that because we might get a bad response. Oh, I'm lousy. I had a bad day. My wife divorced me today. So what we want to do is ask different questions, not how are you today? How are things going today? You ask something different.
How can I make you smile today?
There you go. How can I make you smile?
I'm work because they giggle on this arms and just throws them off.
Exactly. I'm smiling today. Are you?
And they'll tell you to get divorced. You got divorced, and
Right.
let's talk about it.
All right, so what's some other examples? I want to hear you guys' examples.
Yeah. Anybody have any other examples? Make gestures with your hands. Who's got another example? Anybody?
So
Okay.
instead of saying, how are you doing today? How do people, what's their intro like on their calls? Like, I don't ask them how they're doing. I go straight into
The reason
it.
why I'm calling.
Yeah, the reason why I'm calling.
How can I bring value to you today? Or how can I help you today? It's the help, because we're here to help. So you can be simple as that. That's what I use. I mean,
I'm calling to bring value to today.
yeah, that's it. They love that. They love value.
And so you gotta be snappy because time is money. And that's it.
Woo!
Any ahas?
I got one.
All right,
Don't suck.
that's it. Don't suck.
Don't suck. Plain and simple.
That's it. Don't suck.
Thank you guys.
How was everybody's open houses this weekend?
Good.
How many did you have?
Sorry, I owe you a report. It was quite a few, like probably 10 to 12.
Oh, wow, good.
Which one did you have?
The Windsor, Holbron Lane.
Oh, there was a price reduction on that, right?
That was good. I was
Yeah.
around the corner on Alamoana there.
Yeah, I saw
Alamoana.
Right.
I had 5 and 2 are interested and one of the ladies in the building wants to buy. So,
Nice.
yeah.
He has the same question.
Anybody have anything else?
I'd like to bring something up about open house. If anyone can,
Yeah, we got 5 minutes.
feel free to add your input. So I had a grand open house yesterday, and the sellers didn't seem ready for showing. And so I spent like a good 30, 40 minutes trying to put stuff away. And that was one of the comments that I got from one of the agents that came in with their client. She kind of whispered to me, it was like, were you guys not ready?
Strong.
And I honestly felt a little bit embarrassed. Has anyone else, I mean, since I'm still new, has anyone experienced that?
Will you repeat the question? Sorry, I feel like I'm in the same boat as you.
So I was telling them,
Art, who was the listing agent or the listing partner on that grand open house?
I think it was.
I was.
Evelyn.
And then Evelyn, what was the conversation that you had with them about prepping for the grand open house?
That it needs to be show ready. You know, like,
And,
you know,
and
no
did you explain what that
like
meant?
no shoes out, wipe your counters down, make sure it just looks like it does in the photos.
Okay, so they prepped for the photos, but they didn't prep for the grand open house.
Yes, apparently.
Arthur, this is Attilio. I would, or Evelyn, you've got to give that direct feedback to the seller because this is a partnership. And if they're screwing up our efforts in the most diplomatic way that you can with today's update, just let them know that direct feedback from Arthur and the people that were visiting their home.
We'll have a conversation.
Yeah.
I'd like to make, oh, go ahead.
Go ahead, Andrea.
No, I was gonna say.
I'd like to make
Go ahead.
a recommendation for open house too. If maybe the listing agent could give us some of the background information on the property before we do the open house, like maybe they make something, they write something up that Anna shares with us that's the same for every open house, but like, you know, why are they selling? Were there pets? If there's anything weird about the property. For instance, the one I sat yesterday had little cutouts in the doors. Everybody was like, I assume there was a cat, but I have no idea. So if there's anything weird or, you know, why they're selling, was it a
yeah, I agree. Like, that's really helpful. I actually had a neighbor come in and he was even providing some selling points about that area as well. So,
I think that the buyer agents need to have a voice-to-voice conversation with the listing partner that they're sitting the open house for. And I thought that was standard operating procedure. That you guys need to be communicating before that open house.
Yeah, I have something to add to that also. So I 100% agree. As Andrew was talking, I feel like it's, you know, I will take it upon myself from now on. Every open house I sit, I'm going to talk to the listing agent. Before that also, so my situation this week is I was set up for Hawaii Kai. I had the VAs set up, you know, my circle dials and everything ready to go. And then literally at the last minute, I was told that I had to switch. On Thursday, I was told that I had to switch to Makakilo. So then all of a sudden I had to get circle dials in. I knew none of my research was done for Makakilo anymore, and everything, all the effort that I put in for Hawaii Kai is totally out the window. So then as I go to Makakilo to get everything set up, I'm like, okay, whatever it is, what it is. So I get there and it's a completely vacant house, but it's like the yard definitely needs like a good raking, you know, like the house it's not totally ready, you know? So it's like, and there are little things like here and there that I feel like there's just like, oh, and then there's like this baby gate that's up to like go up the stairs there's nobody there, you know what I mean? And it's not attached to the walls at all. It's literally just, like pressure. So I literally just unscrewed it and put it in the garage. There's like this dirty garbage can in the middle of the kitchen. Put that in the garage, you know, like, and this house has been on the market for 60 days, you know, so I'm not the first one to sit it. So my thought process behind it is just like, you know, we just sat the open house master with Kevin on Tuesday and Thursday, and he even recommended do not sit an open house unless you can put at least 2 weeks of effort into it. You know, 14 hours it takes to have a successful open house, because the entire goal to get away from our families on a Sunday is to get 2 buyers and 1 seller. that should be our goal every single time. So with that mentality, I feel like it's necessary to really put in that, to make sure that we're maximizing all of our efforts, because we are a team and the whole goal is to make money. So if we're wasting our time on Sundays, then, if I'm switched over to at the last minute, then is it really as effective as possible? That's my stance.
Just a quick question here. It's not pointing a finger. We got to figure things out. Why did Jake get switched off of open house this week?
I have no idea.
Okay, so who told you to switch
And the
then?
VA sent me an email saying I had to switch.
Okay, so somebody in this room or somebody in this office knows why the VA switched them off. Howard, I need you to find that out.
All right, well, which properties
Yeah.
or which property?
I was supposed to be on Hawaii Kai. I asked for Hawaii Kai on Monday, and then on Wednesday I was told to go Makakilo Island.
Yeah.
Well,
Wait,
Kilo
are there,
Yeah.
Anna,
I'll tell you why, because
Yeah.
there's
Yeah.
price reductions on the island. That's pretty much why. We did a bunch of price reductions, so we set all the open houses that had price
Yeah.
reductions.
yeah, but just feedback, I don't know if you heard it from Jake, is that the preparation that they put into it is a lot, and then to switch at that last minute.
I don't know what, how many days in, wasn't it?
It was Thursday, yeah.
So it was Monday to Thursday.
Well, again,
So what did you do between Monday and Thursday?
So I just got circle dials ready. I just had a plan, basically. I had a
Okay.
plan set up. I had sat Hawaii Kai already, so I already had a lay of the land. I already
Okay.
knew what was going on.
So you're-
Makakilo Island was going blind.
Probably pretty rare,
Yeah.
okay?
Well, let's think of what do we want to do for open houses? They're determined. I would say once they're locked in at the beginning of the week.
And it's also something like that, right?
Yeah.
They're both vacant houses.
Yeah.
If you really put in that time, then just stick up for your effort. And say, guys, I put all this effort in, I really want to sit this house, we would have been like, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it really shouldn't be a big deal,
Okay. See you
especially
next time.
vacant houses. If it's a GHO, we get like a GHO at like the last minute, and we need to
And I would understand that.
switch that or
Right.
something like
Yeah.
that, or some seller that's really pissed at us and lives in the house and really wants it open, that would be like a, hey, you gotta pitch
So
in.
and then I would put it back to what Adrian said. You guys got to take responsibility for your open houses. And just say, why am I being, ask the question, right? The quality of our lives is determined by the questions you guys ask. Why am I being switched?
I mean, and you weren't switched to a gutter bucket, that's a $700,000 listing.
Yeah.
That's right in the price range where it should sell. So
Yeah.
And
it
there's-
wasn't like we sent you to something like half-assed.
And that was one thing too. It's like they're literally, I think, Hawaii Kai and Makakilo same price.
Yeah.
Like okay, whatever.
They're $100,000.
Oh yeah, yeah, it's 850. Yeah, you're right. So I was like, okay, whatever. It was just the effort that I had put in. I was like, all right.
Yeah, you
and,
just-
and I didn't speak up, so
Yeah.
I do take the responsibility.
You
Yeah,
just
for
gotta tell me, I don't know, you're like one of the rare ones,
sure. Yeah.
really. Most people are like, oh shoot, I got an open house.
Well, then
I'm just,
I'm not gonna share what
by
happened.
Thursday, I think most agents haven't done
Well, maybe what we can do on Thursday, when we know who's sitting with open house, the listing agents can get with the people sitting and say, hey, do you know about the house?
Well, what I
That type of
if
thing
you
as
guys are
well.
sitting in open house, you need to be calling the listing partners. I mean, if I had to like split the baby in half and say, who needs to take ownership of that? If you're taking time away from you guys' families to go sit these opens and you're walking into those open houses completely blind, whose responsibility is that ultimately?
that's ours.
Sorry, I'm coming off of 11 days of immense leadership and there was like straight up effing accountability.
How many
And
people
so-
showed up? Was it dead?
There was four people, so there was three
Okay,
there was
well,
three people and
That's
then
probably about
one.
the turnout you would have got in Hawaii.
Yeah.
It's funny though. So like I'm actually pretty happy with it. It was just one of the guys. Two people were like pretty solid. They really liked it. One of them was a sell by, and then the other guy is like, I think really debating.
I mean, if
putting
you
an
got
offer
a
in.
lead from
and then
that,
and then another
you should
guy
be-
was.
patting us on the back. and
No,
stuff.
that's the thing. No, that's the thing. So I was actually talking to man about this last night. So
No,
it's nice because
but hold on there, Howard, you gotta take this feedback because it doesn't matter if you.
Oh, I know, I
You
know.
got switched up at the last minute and this is what he's communicating.
Right.
Anna can share what happened.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, I have it. Renee and I have it exactly we did a bunch of price reductions, we got them in the middle of the week, and we decided we were gonna sift those houses.
and I didn't speak up. I get it, and I didn't speak up about it. I understand. I want him to take their
Where,
responsibility.
and where they're coming from, they just came from an open house training from Kevin, and
Yeah.
Kevin's telling them, don't send it open unless you're like super,
Unless you're
super
prepared,
duper.
yeah, like no point, yes, that's my mentality, and that's what I was gonna get at too, it's like, I feel like to best maximize all of us, it's like, I
What-
think that
look,
maybe like capitalizing
I'll
on
make
everything
this
and
rule.
learn that, and make that like the system for open house.
We will try not to switch it in the future.
Yeah.
We may have problems with like I said, angry seller that just did a price reduction, something like that.
Yeah.
And then that's kind of out of my control. I gotta try to use you guys to help the
Be
whole,
helpful,
right.
whole system. So, but other than that, we'll try to stay away from that.
That's one issue. Like mine is like having it show ready.
Yeah.
You know, it was really embarrassing, honestly.
Which one?
That's one of Evelyn's listings, but you know, I mean, here's the deal. Sellers are gonna do what sellers are gonna do. I mean, what are we gonna do? Put a gun to their head and say, clean that shit up?
Yeah, that one
It's
goes
not
into
helping
the
us
category
make
of
our
like,
home
we have no control over the agents that show our houses. We have no control. We can't be like, you will clean this up. You know, there's never gonna happen.
If anything, you
Especially
guys
kids.
wanna be super proactive, go visit the homeowner the day before and say, I wanna do a walkthrough of your home.
That's also.
Or I'm gonna come an hour early to do a walkthrough of your home, because I don't know if Kevin should be mentioning that if he hasn't.
Yeah.
Show up early.
Later.
And the other thing too is like, I was everything in the beginning. And I had brooms in my car, trash bags in my car, I'm like, I'm throwing their shit in the closets, washing dishes, or, piling dishes up in the dishwasher.
I had one,
So-
the people had a puppy that pooped everywhere.
Yeah.
And they were sleeping in the
I'm drop
bedroom.
kicking dogs out the back door. I'm serious, man. I mean, if they got
They
an
wouldn't-
issue with that, I'm like,
they
you know
wouldn't
what?
get
This
out
is a
of bed.
partnership.
They would not get out of bed.
Yeah.
Last year, open house was around them sitting
Yeah,
in bed.
that's crazy. The only
Well, I did a
downside is,
photo
like, the
shoot with the
yard
boyfriend sleeping in the bed.
So the one that I learned this weekend is always bring a 9-volt and if you have a little ladder that literally that one of the alarms were beeping, had no
Oh, yeah.
battery and no place, no way to
Nowhere
get
to
it. I
hide.
would have had to
Nowhere
be
to hide.
6'5". So,
Nowhere to hide.
Or disconnected or whatever, and then just. leave it
yeah,
open
but I
for
just
the-
didn't even have a way to get up that high, so it was like.
Yeah, so you guys are gonna show up with a utility truck next time you go.
Kevin said that too.
Cleaning, vacuum
Make sure you
cleaner,
have
mop,
the bin.
bucket.
Well, I was gonna say, I was like, I'm gonna need a rake.
Just
Like that yard needs
Mary
a rake.
maids.
I'd probably plan on, if it's an occupied home, vacant home, I mean, it's not gonna differentiate from the pictures you see to when you show up on a vacant home, but occupied home, it's a crapshoot, right?
Yeah. Tenants,
Oh, especially if it's tenant occupied. All right, so our big thing out of this one then, and this is our agent meeting right, and training meeting right now. Tuesdays, we've got, you know what, I've got to figure, be a heads up for it. We've got to be meeting with the buyer agents and the listing partners every week to go over these things for the week and seeing what's coming up. I think in the buyers agents meetings, we need to be talking about open houses, and then in the listing meetings, we need to be talking about any. Evelyn, how many properties do you have that are more than 60 days old? And JT, be ready to answer that question too.
I have to look it up.
yeah,
Say-
I don't think either of them can pull that off the top of their head.
If I would tell you right now, the biggest.
I think
How many? Oh, she's breaking up. We've got to get.
I think I've got 3.
You got 3? Okay, that's
We
good.
did like 4 or 5 price reductions. Let's say.
Yeah. The other thing too, we really got to get on those getting those, we cannot have listings that are over 60 days. There's no reason for that with the reset, right?
I have something to mention on that also. So I noticed, I don't know if we do this or not, but I noticed that with the Tongs, the first house that I sold that I'm in escrow that I'm about to close, they, after I sent them my information just for everything,
Yeah.
they literally started sending me all their listings. All their listings, all their new stuff that
Smart.
comes on. Yeah,
How do
exactly.
they send it to you or forward?
Just email it to me.
Yeah, forward that email to us so we can take a look at it. We
Okay.
have no problems ripping off and duplicating.
That's what I figured. I was like, if we're not doing that, we should.
We have a
Great,
very
yeah.
heavy R&D department. It's called
Was it
rip off and duplicate.
Was it B Pepsi?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, anything else we need to chat about? Because it's 9:10. It's more like a short and sweet.
Of this guys in the room, who's sitting Monowai this week in the open house every day?
I'm not sitting anything this week. I'm doing next week. I'm gonna try to do the Kevin.
So Monowai is our flex unit down.
Oh, for
right
that,
across the
for
way.
that. Andrew's
Just
this
basically-
week. I think I have this Friday and next Friday.
I mean, like, what I'm saying is like, sign up for as many as you can.
Oh, okay.
We just need
Is
people.
Damien here? Is that open house every day, call for times up in front of that home?
Well, I don't know, because I don't know if we have
You
anybody.
guys know about that?
I've got Thursday.
It's just all day long.
Yeah,
So
no,
basically,
No, but
Three or something.
we have a 18 by 24 sign and it says open house every day, call for times. Now, we're not gonna be, this is an exception. We are sitting down on pretty much every day, but do we have the open house every day, call for times in front of Monowai?
I checked with Anna, she doesn't know who signed up, she said nobody signed up.
No, but he's
No, no,
saying
no,
this
no,
is like
I'm talking about the sign.
all the time sign, no matter what
Do
sign.
we have a
So the
sign?
sign says all the time, open house?
Yeah, open house every day, call for times.
We don't have that, I think you said it was in your garage.
Yeah, can you get that today, then get that up?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you go into
I
my
gotta
garage, it's
shoot,
off.
I gotta shoot this morning at 10
Yeah,
in town.
yeah, you still got the
I'll
code
do
and
that.
everything, let's get that up in front of there.
Yeah.
So you guys all know, we can put that up in front of any sign. We usually will put it up in front of like high traffic listings. The reason why we put it up is that if you saw a sign, you see all these other freaking signs out here and you see one that says open house every day, call for times. What is going through your brain right now?
like,
Call.
how?
That's different.
Yeah, like,
That's weird.
how are they doing
That's
that? I would
screwed
like
up.
to know.
Anyway,
Yeah.
it's different than what you're seeing
Right.
everywhere else. And marketing is about sticking out and cutting through the clutter. We're not sitting in open house every day because they're gonna call for a time and we're gonna go through what?
Showing. The same showing time.
No, we're gonna go through what?
Oh.
You have an inbound phone call, guys. Come on. This is not new stuff to you. You're gonna go through what?
I say it's-
LP Mama.
Oh.
Oh, we're getting a ton of calls on that. You want to go see that today? Really?
Really?
When you sat down with your lender, what did they tell you? Are you looking to buy? What's your situation? You're gonna go, it's just lead gen.
Yeah.
That's all that sign is about, is lead gen. We're not sitting freaking open houses every day. Guess what? If you have a qualified buyer, ready to go, and they want to go see a home at 2:00 today, guess what? We got an open house at 2:00. You're the only one invited to it.
Exactly.
Think outside the box, guys. Think outside the box. If we did everything within the box, we'd be freaking out of business like every other agent. That's what's gonna happen. That's what's happening right now in this shift.
I bet,
Yeah.
almost can guarantee it.
In this shift, probably about 30% of our industry is gonna go back to their day jobs, which we love because this is what we do full time. And our motto is bring it. I'm gonna change that up there. So I'm gonna say bring it.
Even some of the strong teams,
Okay, I'll get it to you.
Thanks, Darius.
if they're not nimble, they're gonna, get, have to thin their herds way bad.
So you guys all know Bradley, I did a debriefing with Bradley on the ISA team every day, and he said, you know what? They see all our marketing with Adrian and myself, but they don't get to meet us. So when they come in the office, this has been changed effective immediately. If our door is open, bring them by and introduce real quick. If we're in the middle of something or the door is closed because we're on a Google Hangout, make sure that we are, I've told Jenny that Adrian and I are bringing the water into the room. And I'll tell you why. This is what happened. First time we did it. So I just came off of men's leadership, 11 days. And the only way you go to that is if you take Site 7, which is 7 days. And both of those are at the ranch in California, which costs thousands of dollars. And then the only way you get through those is if you take Site Basic. So when I take the men's leadership course, we have this graduation ceremony and they give you this ring. And an MLS graduate is different from an MLS man. An MLS graduate, they graduate, they go back to they settle back to their mediocrity and they don't stay engaged. An MLS man, I can literally go up to an MLS man and say, you're not acting within the 6 principles that we are held to, take that effing ring off. So this guy, he sees me, I'm cleaning the desk, I'm just a cleaning crew, I bring in the water, obviously I'm going like that. He comes out to my office and before he leaves, he goes, I just wanted to shake your hand, C98. Now you're like, what the hell is C98? C stands for class, and every men's leadership class is numbered. I'm C108. In that one sentence, what did he tell me?
Or brothers or something.
No, exactly, yeah.
I'm an MLS man.
Yeah.
That is our client for life. So I literally spoke it the night before that's why I have that stuff up. If you'll see it in my office, when you guys have a chance, go up to it. There's the Eagles prayer. And you get that when you go through this MLS program. And it is effing intense. I can't even give you any more details other than that because if you ever go through it, and I hope every single one of you do, and there's also one for women, WLS. where it's just getting around some men and women that are extremely accountable. I'm talking, you thought you met people that you think I'm an extreme person and over the top. Just imagine guys that are like 2 times the version of me, and every staff, and then you're working with 85 men. So the point being is that we've got to do things different. We've got to bring it. The market is shifting. Listing partners, if you got anything over 60 days, we need to, have a conversation with these owners. Like either we take it off the market, do a price adjustment, or what are we doing here? We're not getting those homes sold with those, and we're not doing a favor. You buyer agents, get aggressive. The market's shifting. This is your time.
Yeah,
the market is
sweet
shifting.
time to be a buyer's agent.
That was
You
the
can
big
always
factor
kind of
why I
like,
chose.
you can win a lot of hearts because if you get a house 10, 20,000 under what it's listed for, and they're like, you're the man,
And so knowing this information, I mean, get after it. Just again, is we don't know what we don't know. And so this conversation we had about getting switched up, Brene Brown calls them a rumble. We need more rumbling conversations. It's not argumentative or adversarial, and nobody's feelings are getting hurt. There's just a rumble. Hey, we got to make a change. So anything that you guys have, you're like, you know what? Yeah, what? You have another one?
Yeah, I have a couple of things actually.
Yeah.
So, because I wanted to talk about it. So I just feel like I understand that our mentors help us a lot.
Yes.
And I totally understand within like the first deal, it's totally necessary to have them holding your hand the whole time. And I just feel like 50% split for 3 deals is a lot.
Yeah.
I think it's a lot of money because like if they were with us every step, going on the showing, doing 50% of the work, I'd be totally happy.
Yeah.
But it's not.
Yeah.
So I'm like, and I know with the email you asked if I had Veronica, if I had her.
Yeah, because you're giving her 50% of that deal.
Exactly, and I was like,
so I'm like, why aren't you copying her on? I don't care if she's on vacation.
Right, and that's what I was like, I don't want to give her 50% of the deal, so I'm going to do everything I can so I don't have to give it to her. Like, look, I did all the work, so I don't have to give you the money. That was my ideal. So I understand 50 the first time, but like, is there any way we can like adjust the price per like after the first one, so it's like cut down, because that's a lot of money.
It is a lot of money, and here's the reason why. And I appreciate just any of this stuff, and I'm keeping this completely open on why that is. I was at a men's leadership for 11 days. So if you needed a dialogue with me, you would have to wait 11 days. Yeah. So we're creating these other layers for you guys because there is, you've got to lean into these mentor agents. You've got to lean into these mentor agents. I'm telling you right now, if you guys think that you guys know everything you need to know after 3 deals, you're effing no way, right? How long have you been doing this?
19 years, 18 years.
19 years. I've been doing this 12 years, and I will tell you right now, if you guys think you know what you need to do, because the right now you've got, and it's not plugging into the mentor agent to see what you're going to do to get that done. And I'm telling you right now, if you're like, I'm trying to figure out, change the way you look at things, and the way you look at things change. Flip that around. Instead of trying to figure out a way not to pay the 50%, get your value from the 50%, from all you guys. And so how many deals have you closed so far?
I closed 2.
2. And how many have you closed? None. Okay. All right. And who's your mentor agent?
It's Veronica.
And who's yours?
Veronica.
And is Mitzi on here?
The only one. She's in California.
Oh, she's not. No, Mitzi. Her surgery's in California?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. I was local.
No.
Holy cow.
Yeah, no,
Well, she has
She
family
went-
there,
one of
so
those
she
families.
wanted all the family around
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
watch her kids and stuff.
And Andrea,
Yeah.
your first 3 deals, how many deals have you closed so far?
I've closed 9 so far.
9 so far. Who was your mentor agent for your first 3 deals?
Abby.
Abby, okay. And I know
So,
that's not a good example, and you and I know why, but
Yeah, I was gonna chime in, Attilio, that if you have a good mentor, then it's not just so basically my mentorship was, here's how you write a contract. But if you have a good mentor, like, you're learning so much more, because I feel completely inadequate on a lot of things. Like I missed out on a lot of, just like, Jake, you told me, oh, hey, you remember we were talking about the MLS searches that you set up? Veronica told you that. So it's not just how to write the 3 deals. It's all of the real estate knowledge and you can tap into that knowledge beyond those 3 deals.
Yeah. The other thing that I would say too is that, do you think Veronica's not going to answer your questions after 3 deals?
No, and I understand that, and so my main thing, so I totally understand that, like, you know, we're always helping each other, and I know by no means know anything about real estate still, you know, and I 100% know that. My hesitancy just comes from, it's just like when I see that dollar sign and I'm like, okay, so I'm already, you know, my cut's already there, and then I have to give half of it, and then like, I wish Veronica was on right now because I didn't want to bring this up without her here.
Yeah,
out of respect for
because
Veronica.
we're not going straight to the source right now.
Exactly. So the biggest thing is that just it's just can
I say something real quick?
It's just there's just not. I feel like we're not.
Think about. Don't think about the money. Think about how you're helping people.
Well,
think about the next one and the one after that. Don't worry about what you're doing now.
But I have to worry about the money now.
I get it.
I know you do, but the money.
Go ahead, Andrea.
If you close 20
My-
deals a year, are you really gonna remember the first 3 is what they're trying to say?
Exactly, yeah.
I understand that, but I'm not at the 20th deal.
Hey, you got.
I'm at the 3rd deal right now.
I know,
So-
I understand Hawaii's hell expensive and every dollar counts.
Yeah.
But Andrea, go ahead.
My 3rd deal, which was basically I did the whole thing on my own, was an SOI deal, $710,000. That was hard.
That was a hard pill to swallow, huh?
It was.
So,
It was a very hard pill to swallow because that was probably $6,000 that went to my mentor. But I think about the team and like even though Veronica's not my mentor, she still, and so I understand that my situation is a little different, but like there's always people answering our questions, and it's just kind of like you'll have your turn as a mentor after you've been here a while, and then you'll understand why that
you guys are mentoring, and we can't put Jake on them.
I know. I understand that. I just have it's just my I'm just having a hard time with it. So like even it's just like I completely understand because that's the same thing like I pay the team the portion to be a part of the team. You know? And I am totally grateful for that.
Sure.
In every single way. That is money well spent. And then also because like I can go to JT for information, I go to Howard for information, I can go to anyone here for information, but I don't have to pay them 50% of my commission for information from them.
Yeah.
You know, that's
Next time.
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like,
well, the reason why we set up the first 3 deals, and I'm gonna love on Jake and I'm gonna love on Andrea right now, is that if you guys are paying your mentor agent 50%, by the way, that's what you signed up for. So, you know, I mean, if we want to be extremely accountable, that's what you guys signed on the line for with that mentor agent agreement. So you've given your word that that's what you're going to do. There's no altering the course at this point. Just if I got to be real blunt with both of you, and you after the fact. But this is what I would tell you: if I'm walking in to spend money somewhere, it's on me to get the value out of that money that I'm spending. You guys are spending that 50% with your mentor agent. I'd be like, hey, so here's my question to all of you guys. Have you set up a weekly meeting to go over your top 100 with Veronica?
and this is the reason why I want Veronica on the phone right now.
Yeah.
Because we are not being given that ability. We call half the time our phone calls get answered, the other half we don't. Sometimes we just don't get any response. Sometimes it's just not, I'm not getting that.
Yeah.
So that's a big thing, and that's why I don't want to say anything about Veronica here because I have respect for Veronica, but this is the reality.
I'm not going to go talk to Veronica about this for you guys either.
Right.
You guys are going to go to her and just be straight up with her and say, Veronica, I'm paying you 50% of my commissions. And if you're not going to stick to it, then we need to have a meeting with Attilio and Adrian, and I'm going to ask that you be fired. Just to be straight up, because that's the new men's leadership. And say, I would be effing freaking livid if I'm paying somebody 50% and they're not Johnny on the spot with these phone calls.
Right.
What I love about Veronica, if she was hearing this, she'd be like, you know what? I effed up.
And that's why
I'm sorry.
Exactly, and that's how she's on the phone.
Yeah. So I would highly recommend that. Here's the deal: that 50% ain't changing. So you guys, it's you have to adapt and you have to change, and you have to go get your money's worth from her. She's agreed to do it. Now, if she says, well, I don't want to go do it, then, and she, fires herself, or, you know what, here's the deal. It's what you guys signed up for, and as leadership, we got to stick to what's in the contract, right? If we don't, we're all over the freaking place. If you guys get something else worked out with Veronica and say, hey, guess what? I don't think you're worth 50%. I would love to have that kind of feedback. Feedback is a gift all the time. I don't think you're worth 50% on this deal. Go have that conversation with her.
Okay. Yeah.
And say, you got a man or woman up, and say, this is what I signed up for. It's in our, and that's why, by the way, is this mentorship agreement in writing?
Yes.
Yeah.
Are there expectations for what the mentor agent should be doing, and are there expectations for what the mentee should be doing?
Yes.
Yep. So you guys got to get back to the table on that. And what else? What else? I like that one. That was a good one. That's a good rumble.
It was.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just an idea more.
We like ideas.
It's just an idea. So I know, so like say, and this is going off of, I haven't even been here for 2 months yet.
Yeah.
This is just my analysis of what's going on now. So I've been here for almost 2 months now, and then, we get a certain amount of leads, and then some of those leads just kind of fizzle. It's like we try to hit them, we do everything we can, we got them on drips, we're doing everything, and just nothing's happening from them. But they're in our pool, so we have to keep trying. So I was thinking, like, is there a way that we could, like, the stuff we've been nurturing and trying to do stuff with, like, a month or two that's doing nothing, can we get them to, like, a VA to handle that kind of stuff until they were to come back, and then they come back to us? So we get more.
No, she's not. I don't know.
And then with that, we would get more in from the
Send it
ISAs.
back to us, and then we can know if you're doing your job. We can track everything. If you're doing on it for a month.
Yeah.
We did this with David last week, and so we have a rule of.
Brad, could you face the microphone, please? I'm not hearing you very well.
So if you guys want more leads, we'll check on the leads that you want to give back to us. If you guys been doing a great job, you get 50 more leads. We'll take 50 at a time. I mean, if you guys want to give us one by one, we can take the lead from you and we can nurture them for you, and then give you something else. So we did this with David last week. But guess what? We have Gilbert checking you guys work.
Well, quality control.
Yeah. So if it's not to date, and we said no to another agent trying to hammer us for leads, I'm like, you're not up to
You're not
standard.
taking care of the ones you already have. Why would you want to give you more for you to screw up?
But if you are, then you can have as much as you want, because we got a lot of leads here. So
yeah.
Oh yeah.
So give it back to us. We'll nurture them for you. And Veronica's been doing good. She's been giving me one by one. But she also tells me too, right? So tell me, because like I don't know what's going on. I have so much going on also with my leads, and it's just let me know, Brad, nurture them. It's going to be 6 months out, 3 months out, and so I know how to match their motivation, right? Is what we talked about, and so.
How do we give them back? Because I asked that question. I was like, how do I get
Tag me, Laura. Tag me, Laura, and Gilbert.
Well, don't do that, guys.
Tag me, Laura, and Gilbert, and then we'll work it out from there.
As far as leads, I'm going to tell you right now, it's the ISA team that's running that. If Adrian and I get involved, we were going to F that thing up 7 ways for Sunday if we get involved with that. Because these guys are in Boomtown every day and hammer dialing. I want to compliment Jake here because I learned something from MLS. Small people talk about other people. Medium people talk about events, but big people, they talk about ideas. So Jake just shared an idea with us, which makes him a big person. So we got it, and that's exactly what you guys should be using. Everybody has their specialized roles, right? Are you going to work with a buyer?
No.
Are you going to work with a seller?
No.
Are either of you going to work with leads that are like that are not ready to go, and you can just bounce them back and swap them out with your ISA team?
Yeah.
That's what the ISA team's for. So perfect.
Okay.
What else?
Let's give them all back.
Sure. Yeah, if I'm going through my leads and those MFers aren't ready to like sit down today and start writing offers, I'm like, next.
Right, you can have these back. Give me some others so I can shift you.
Maybe the ones that are ready to go.
Sometimes I'll call it.
So to clarify, what do you need to see on that lead for that actual lead to actually come back saying that the buyer's agents are doing their job?
Communications, like you have to be on it. Like we can track whether it's a nurture or a hot or a watch, we can know how the follow-up process is.
Yeah, like if
And
they've
you
been
take
calls
initiative.
forever. That's
Right.
they've been calls since I had them.
Well, the ISA team, the top ISA team on the nation, it hits calls 200 times before they trash it. So I'm at 35 and 40. Guess what? When I send the abducted by alien text, they reply.
Yeah.
They reply. And I get the same response. The moon's, the Mars is pretty nice. I just came back from Mars, and then they come back with that. It's funny.
Yeah.
I guess it's the only one that works.
Well, I mean, but for the agents, if you guys,
I've only gotten one negative response from that. That's it. Somebody was mad, said I was rude.
Lead management policy.
Great, that means I can clear up 2. I've been getting them 40, and then Laura's like 200. I'm like,
No, I'm loving you right now. No, you guys, if your guys' pipe would be clear, we'd be firing you because we wouldn't need you. So I mean,
I mean more. I mean filtered and better.
Yeah.
Because we got 36,000 to catch up on.
Yeah. No. What I'm saying is like, what's the minimum activity that you got to see on this lead before they can bounce it back to you guys?
Moving forward, we'll do 777.
Okay.
Sweet.
I'm gonna put Gilbert. If Gilbert's there, Gilbert 777.
Yeah,
That's
I have a
perfect.
question for you. What do we do, like open house? I sit open house, I'm a listing agent.
Yeah.
I find buyers through that.
Yeah.
What do I do with them? Do I give them to the VAs? How do we distribute those? Because I know a couple on there are good.
We get them when we follow up with them.
Yeah.
So today my days will be follow up on our open houses on all the information I got.
All right, so just for clarity's purposes, for everybody within hearing shot of my voice, all leads go back into the ISA funnel. ISAs distribute all leads. I'm gonna tell you right now, and it has to stop right now. So everybody is, what do you call that? It's like
copacetic?
No, we're gonna like, it's like, you can come in and turn in all your marijuana plants and all these illegal stuff that you did. Amnesty.
Amnesty.
So this is the amnesty period right now. From this point forward, I never ever want to hear about some lead going from one agent to another agent. That is a big no-no. You are not, no one on this team has the right to determine who gets a lead. Your activity and your action and your follow through and your ability and your experience determines if you get leads. But that traffic has to be directed by the ISA team. Okay.
All leads go back to ISAs.
Yeah, if your mom says, I want to go and buy a house, you got to go give it to the ISA team for them to distribute.
Wait, clarifying question.
Yeah.
So the open house leads from the open house that we sat, is that going back to the ISA? Is that what you're
Yeah,
saying?
and I remember we talked about it there. So that, and there's exceptions to everything. If you make a connection with somebody that's pre-approved, ready to go, and you're ready to start showing them houses, and they're going to come in for a buyer consultation on Monday. If you're an agent, you can cherry pick that list, but for dang sure, you better follow up on that lead. Because if I'm going to tell you what happens is they tell you they're all hot and heavy when they meet you, and then you can't freaking get a hold of them. Bounce that back to the ISAs unless you're going to do the 777. So, but that's up to you. We'll let you guys make that call, but for sure, don't take that lead. And then again, it's about being abundant-minded, right? Because I'm telling you, if you have challenges with anything here, it's going to be, and it's not to put you on the spot. We all are human, and it's human nature. When you come from fear and scarcity-minded, these are the things that you're going to focus on. And I'm going to give you my motorcycle zen, and we're going to wrap it up. On a motorcycle, who here has ridden a motorcycle? On a motorcycle, if I'm going straight and I look over there, where the motorcycle gonna go?
Over there.
It's gonna go over there. In a car, it still goes straight, but on a motorcycle, where you look is where you're gonna go. So if you're looking at obstacles that are getting in your way, guess what you're gonna see all day long? Is obstacles. Focus on where you wanna go. Focus on closing 24 deals. Focus on closing 24 deals. I'm telling you right now, knowing what I know about all the other KW agents, we're gonna have a lot of washout with KW agents. Just being part of KW doesn't mean that you got it. You've arrived. You've got to have leads and coaching, and I'm telling you right now, only the teams have it. Only the teams have it, and the solo agents are going to be struggling. And so focus on where we want to go. Just close a whole bunch of deals, put your head down, and you focus on, and I like what you said, just don't forget about the money.
Yeah, forget about it. I used to think all about money, and that was a downfall.
Yeah.
That was a downfall of my business.
Yeah.
Because I just thought, oh, money, money, money. Oh, I'm going to get this list, I'm going to get that. And I put a spreadsheet together. Oh, I'm going to make all this money.
Yeah.
I didn't make the money. You know why? Because I focused on the money. I didn't focus on the situation, getting the home sold. I didn't focus on dealing with the people.
Yeah.
I didn't focus on that. So I mean, don't think about money. Money's gonna be your downfall.
Yeah.
Think about how many people you wanna help, how many homes you wanna sell. Think about that.
Well, I kind of have something to say about that. Because
Yeah, go ahead.
I feel that way. But at the end of the day, it's the team's bottom line.
Yep.
It's your guys' bottom line and it's our bottom line.
Yep.
I'm all about making that connection. Like when I went to go do my Bold 100, I didn't get them to sign because I didn't have a pitch and I didn't bring value. That's how I got them to sign is the value that I brought to them.
Yes.
But I also understand that the 8 people that I have in my pipe that sign, I can't close them right away. The reason why they signed with me instead of the last agent is because they're like, okay, you're willing to sit down and game plan a financial plan with me that may take 6 to a year.
Yeah.
And I mean, I get that, like, and that's where I'm coming from, but at the same time, like, it might be pressured on from, the team because at the end of the day, I'm not putting in any offers and it's kind of like give or take, you know what I mean? So it's like, that's where I feel where it's kind of like, I can go ahead and sign people up and bring value, but I know that these are like, a lot of them are six months to a year out. So I'm taking advantage of this shift. And just to share with you, the way how I took the approach with the Bold 100 is I've been trying to keep up with the stats, with numbers, what's happening in the shift, and try to strategically bring value to people. So when I went out, and this was my pitch was, do you have a quick second for a 2-question survey? All I have is 2 questions. And then the questions was, do you rent or do you own? And then depending on how they answer, it's like, I rent. I was like, great, what do you pay a month? And then I go.
And you ask the 3rd question, you're like, you liar.
No,
you asked me 2 questions.
No.
I see where you're going.
Yeah. And I told him right after that, I was like, that's only 2 questions I have. The reason why I'm doing this.
Yeah.
Then I go into my pitch, and then the more questions have to follow up after that. But it's pretty much, I'm not sure if you're aware of what's happening in the market. A lot of people don't care because they feel like they can't buy a home anyways.
Yeah.
But I'm just here to let people know what's happening. And prices are dropping, interest rates have lowered, and it's giving people the opportunity to now have a chance to purchase a home. Do you know anyone that doesn't own that's looking that may want to buy? And that's how and then it just kept on trickling. And it was that soft opening because a lot of the times it was that.
Yeah. Yeah, for you guys, I mean, if all you gotta do is close 24 deals before the end of your 12 months. So if you want to close them all at the end, that's good too. That'll work. I'm just kidding. So here's the deal. You guys have to expand your thinking and take a look at the big picture. There may be a lead that you're working with right now and you're thinking they're not going to buy 6 to 8 months and then that's a closing, right? X is a closing. This is when they hit here. What every single one of you needs to have an appreciation for that Adrian and I have been working this freaking business for 12 years. And that lead started 12 years ago with us putting the team together. So if you guys think, oh shit, I haven't closed anything in 90 days. Well, I'll tell you what, why don't you walk in my shoes? Our shoes have been doing this for 12 years. It's like human beings on the planet in comparison to how long the planet's been around. You guys are looking at, man, I've been around for, man's been around for 200,000 years. Well, that's a freaking pimple on the ass of the clock of the reality of the whole linear existence of this planet. So that's what you got to do is just expand your thinking and know, yes, we get it. You guys aren't doing jack squat in the beginning, and the jack squat you do, and you're giving 50% to your mentor agent, but it's going to come, and it's going to come, and it's going to come, and it's going to come. And the last thing I will tell you, this is why agents leave the team. They see this, and I'm going to tell you right now, we'll timestamp it today. They think this is so easy, I'm going to go do it on my own and keep more of the money. Good luck to you.
I was going to say, Jake, if you didn't join Team Lally, you wouldn't have had 2 deals.
No, and I 100% understand, like, not, I can't say 100%, but I get it. Like, I get it. Like, I totally get it, and I, like, you have no idea, like, how, like, because I haven't even thought about, like, how grateful I am for everything on the team. Like, literally everything encompasses it. It's amazing, and I'm not denying that at all. My only thing is, man, I'm paying 50%.
For a brand new agent
Well,
to be in the business 2
7%
months,
of the work,
to have
like,
2 deals,
I'm putting in 95% of the work and I'm putting out 50% of my paycheck, like, come on with it. That's
You
my, that's
you
my
gotta
mindset.
hold your
That's what's
dollars,
going on,
just
man.
like we're holding our dollars accountable with you guys and all the money we're shelling out, you gotta hold your, that 50% accountable with
100%
Veronica.
will.
You're,
Yeah,
you're
and
the,
that's, yeah, I
you're
wanted
the
to talk
top
to her.
1% of all
It's
agents
just
on this
teamwork.
island right now. You know?
Yeah, JT was just mentioning just the fact that if you took a look at every brand new agent on this island, I see them, they come on the Wednesday wind up, man, all their sad little faces. And we have conversations with them and they're bummed.
Well, I had one, I don't know if he was in Bold, but I can't remember his name. I can't remember his name. He was in Bold, he lives in my building, and I saw him. He was a sommelier, he was a wine guy.
Yeah.
He dropped out. And the reason why he dropped out of Bold, because he felt like he didn't have a sphere. He couldn't.
Do too many contacts
He
today.
couldn't figure out how to
And I
make
was
the
like,
contact.
I saw him over there, I was like, dude, it's pretty easy to talk to 20 people a day.
Yeah.
I mean, how hard
Maybe
is it?
he's in the wrong career.
Yeah, so I was like, I was
Maybe
really
his career
surprised.
change.
So that's a real good example of somebody that he had a closed mind. He just shut down his mind because he's been in a restaurant doing wine sales and this and that. So now he decided to go to timeshare sales. You know how hard that's going to be for him to go?
It's like, I can't meet 20 people a day. You gotta know, I gotta get
Bring
rejected.
2 random ones off the sidewalk, see if you can close.
Yeah.
So, one thing Diana's journal that she read to us, that was written before we graduated, was when you hit your breakdown is your breakthrough. Right? And how we look at things change, right? And we all go through it because we're growing as a team. It has to happen. There's no smooth sail.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
And so that's why we have this. And it's, I come from being solo for 3 months, right? And it's just, what we have here is a lot. And so just eating the dirt, paying the dues a little bit, and then moving forward. And you can have bumps for the rest of your life. You know what I mean? Right. It's the same thing. It's good though. It's healthy that we're having this. Because the worst thing can happen is you walk into this office and we have a mask on.
Well,
and everybody.
And that's why I wanted to, that's why I was like, I need to get this out. I know the team will appreciate it. I know that this is exactly it, because if I hold any of this in, all it's gonna do is put up walls and barriers, and it's not gonna be good. So I'm like, I'm talking about it. I'm saying everything because I need to, because I want to be, I'm part of this team. If I'm a part of this team, then I'm gonna say the hard things that need to be said.
Wait,
just
so
like with,
who was that career night? His most recent one. Oh, what did Ray Walmer say about his business?
Yeah, he didn't really talk.
Laura shared how much money he's putting into his team.
He's putting 100K in marketing. Well, that's the first thing he said, which
How many closings has he had?
I haven't checked.
I think maybe like 1.
Yeah.
He's building, I guess.
So,
But
Jake was,
I believe.
Jake was, I'm telling you right now, we run everything through our Amex bill and it's anywhere from 50 to 60 grand a month. Whether you guys post stuff or not, I have personally taken from a side account from passive income and I've dropped 100 grand into this business in the last 2 months out of my pocket because the bills needed to be paid and I'm probably going to write another check for 50 grand. So that's a big picture. Welcome to our world, but that's why I got the ring. But
and that's, I appreciate that.
Jake is spot on because I know, I said it, I'll say it again. If Jake doesn't knock it out of the park in 12 months, I'm shaving myself bald. And I still am confident of that because of your behavior right now.
Let's put that on paper.
Which is
are we
recorded
opening
on the
escrow
Zoom.
Hey, are we opening escrow this morning on that counter?
Oh, I don't know. So I hope so. I'm assuming so.
Speak it. We are.
I think
Yes.
so. Yes. Yes, we are.
Yes.
Yeah.
Did you counter the counter or you
Yeah.
just accepted it?
So no, we counted the counter.
Okay.
So we counted the counter with lower, and then I was looking, because it was like, did you run it by Veronica? And I looked at it, I was like, I missed the one, so I have to recounter it. But it actually gives me another upper hand because Jody said we could close in 25 instead of 30 days.
Oh, perfect.
So I can add that into and make it even stronger.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Good job.
So we're closing in today.
Oh,
We're gonna put it in.
And you asked a question about how many homes that had on the market over 60 days?
Yeah.
Gonna put one in escrow today, so.
Yes.
that's over
So 0?
60 days.
Okay.
That's the Gulick Street. So-
Finally.
You guys missed the huddle on Friday, but I talked about the 3 C's and the 3 R's. And again, this comes from Sci Basic. The R's is you're saying, I gotta get this out. Does anybody remember what the 3 R's are?
Oh, yes, it is.
The first one is
Resistance.
resistance. The second one is
Resentment
resentment
and revenge.
and revenge. And so how it shows up, we're like, man, this sucks. I'm paying the 50% and I'm really resenting this. And, you know, next time I see Veronica in the crosswalk, I'm gonna go shoot her. So, but instead you went the winner's way, and the winner's way is the 3 C's, and somebody tells me what the 3 C's is. The first one, communicate. I gotta get something off my chest. Communicate, compromise, cooperate. And right there, so that's how we avoid slipping into this one and shifting into that one, and how we move forward. And
So Jake, I'll give you another perspective. When Veronica came on the team, she's been licensed, what, how many years? 12 years?
12 years. She paid her 50%.
She did 3 mentor deals, even though she's experienced agent.
Tina did.
She's not experienced with the team. Tina, like she's got more years under her. Brooks, all of them. Even coming from being experienced, JT. So it's just, you know, like doing real estate as a solo agent or even on another team is going to be different than, you know, doing real estate with our team and, you know, here in Hawaii and our systems and little nuances and things that we do to be productive.
So I'm just closing this third one and it's all me.
Okay.
I got one left and it's all me.
Yeah.
So that's I just have to
Yeah.
Focus on
just
that.
my main, so I think the main like resistance that's been happening is because this one's an SLI, you know, so it's like, oh, SLI, it's even more, it's the most money I can get. It's like, you know, that's where it's coming from. So it's
Yeah,
just,
and so flip that.
this is the last one. It's the
Sure.
last one, bro, and it's all
You know
you.
what?
Should've waited.
Find a really crappy small deal and
Put it in
get that in
here.
No, it's so
escrow.
funny too, because I've been talking about that. I'm like, because of law of probability, right? Law of averages. If I
There's gonna be
close
some $5
small
million
ones,
deal.
right? If I close all the small ones for the first 3, probability tells me the next few will be huge, you know, because it's laws of probability.
You know, it's what JT said, when I've never focused on money, you know when I've made the most money? When I've never focused on it. You know, when we close the most
Focus on
deals, when
serving
I just,
people.
when I just focused on serving people right now. You know, Adrian and I talk about it as far as the shifting market, and you know what? Dude, I just told him, we dumped 100 grand into this business, probably gonna dump another 50, so I'll be up to 150,000. Do you see me shaking in my boots and concerned about it? Do you see any wavering in my voice, any like, any of that stuff? No, I'm 100% effing 100% confident we're gonna kick butt. I have no doubts whatsoever, so I'll do that all day long. Well, not all day long, but I know I have unlimited money.
So the number one sales guy in Marriott, I'm calling it, is guy named, anyway, he's what I focus on what he did. He was gonna get fired today because there's a track of you gotta prove so much, right? You got 24 hours or whatever that is. But he was on the last day. He wrote his journal. He's an old gentleman, so he wrote it, and he broke a deal, and then he became the best in the Marriott. And he shared with me,
That was a breakthrough.
His breakthrough. He's breaking down. I was like, God, I sold my art. He sold everything to be in this. He thought, you know, everybody in Timeshare will make it. And he just like, he did everything he could do. He followed the steps. And, you know, and then he came down, he came, first day he came in, he's like, look at this, man, it's my journal. And I know you're going to hit it. So he gave me that journal. You're going to hit it these days. Just want to just drive off the earth, you know?
Yeah.
But you just got to push through it. And the day will come. Yeah, you know, the day will come. Just keep pushing and pushing and pushing. And then he's the greatest. He still is the greatest. He's still working.
What was his break you said? So it's like on his last year.
The last day they're gonna let him go. Yeah, 60 days.
Oh, he
you gotta
finally
sell
got
so
his
much.
deal.
They
Oh.
said his name was Marty. So Marty, if you don't sell, and I was there too with the same people. And it was like the boss told him, if you don't sell, sorry, the standard is you got to put your experimentation. He said, fine, he's good. He's like, I just got to go back to doing my old job, I guess. And but he went and took that lead, and he never turned back for him. But it took everything in him, and he never, like, he wasn't doing anything wrong. It just, he had to keep going.
You know, people go up to Tony Robbins and say, I tried everything. And he goes, you tried everything? Bullshit.
Yeah,
Because if you tried everything, you wouldn't be telling me you tried everything. You would have broken through and done what you needed to do.
For sure.
Back there, everybody.
It's sellable at low price.
Yeah, okay.
Price